Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. और yes, थोड़ा सा लेट हूँ, सॉरी अबाउट दैट. और मुझे डिले भी करना पड़ा स्ट्रीम थोड़ा सा बिकॉज ऑफ सम टेक्निकल रीजंस. लेकिन यार अगेन गेस्ट जो है आई बिलीव अंशुमन इज ऑन हिज वे आ रहे हैं. यस, जो भी देख रहा है, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल एंड डू लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब. मोर द नंबर ऑफ पीपल होंगे उतना ही डिस्कशन होगा हमारे. और जस्ट नॉट मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, चेल्सी और लिवरपूल जो आपको दिख रहा है थंबनेल में. वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग बहुत सारे क्लब. हो सके तो जितना टाइम हो उतना देंगे. एंड एवरीवन गेट इन योर क्वेश्चंस. ऑफ कोर्स हम लेंगे एज मच एज पॉसिबल. अगर आपको प्रायोरिटाइज करना है एज ऑलवेज यू नो हाउ टू प्रायोरिटाइज द कमेंट्स. लेकिन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल भाई जो भी जल्दी आए उनको तो बिग अप बनता है. वो है लुक डियोंग इन द हाउस, थैंक यू. फुटबॉल क्रीक्स इन द हाउस, यस ये स्टार्ट करने वाला हूँ मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ ये बिल्कुल फुटबॉल क्रीक्स. एंड यस मानव, कोई नहीं मैं देख रहा था आपको कमेंट डेफिनेटली. और यार बाय द वे जो भी जुड़ा है ना, और बाय चांस आप क्रिकेट भी फॉलो करते हो तो हमारे साथ जुड़ना वापस से 10:30 बजे ऑन ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस भी. क्योंकि यार वी आर गोइंग टू डू वॉच अलोंग. तो नाम का है, पीपल हु जनरली फॉलो आवर वॉच अलोंग्स नो दैट हम ज्यादा करते हैं मोर देन जस्ट द वॉच अलोंग्स. लेकिन ओके गुड, चलो हेलो, यस नाइस. होप यू आर सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल एंड होप यू आर लाइकिंग द कंटेंट. थैंक यू एज वेल. मैंने देखा था आपको कमेंट कल भी, काफी अच्छा लगा. हार्दिक भाई, yes, Hardik is back. Always good to see Hardik. And yes, hi as well. Chinmay, hi dude. Yes, absolutely. Krishna, me as well. देखते हैं भाई. सबसे पहले लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब जैसे हार्दिक बोल रहे. Open panel. Oh, Matt is in the house. Matt, I didn't know it is a good time for you. If you would like to come on, it's brilliant. Let me know. Comment here. If you can just comment here, I'll share the link with you. But let me know if you are, as in, I don't mind you coming on. Obviously, mate, come on. Know you pretty well. So let me know if you're ready. I will definitely share a link. I thought it's kind of late for you because Matt is in Australia. Okay, good. Again, De Jong to United becoming increasingly close. Manav, yes, looks like it. And yes, Mr. Chelsea, like long time no see. यहाँ पर भाई हमारे तो यार एक दिन भी नहीं देखते तो you kind of get bored without that. But hopefully यार you guys don't get bored of me. That's the important part. And Ronaldo no good to Chelsea should push for Ligt. Fair enough. और yes, by the way, I hope a lot of people have come in by now. तो कहां से शुरू करें? एवरीवन, रोनाल्डो इज द बिग न्यूज. हाँ, बिग न्यूज क्यों है? कल रात को बवाल मच गया था. मैं लिटरली फीफा स्ट्रीम कर रहा था ऑन ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट प्लस. लोग एक दो से बोले यार ट्वीट किया है और डेविड ऑनस्टीन का आया है, फेब्रिशियो हैज कंफर्म दैट. और मैं तभी यार हाईलाइट कर रहे थे लोग और मैं वहां पर रिएक्ट किया था. इट डज नॉट लुक लाइक इट. लेकिन पूरी रात गुजरी और पूरे रात में इतना सारा बेसिकली न्यूज मतलब बवाल लिटरली मचा यार. इट्स रोनाल्डो. और सुबह में देखा भाई साहब. और यस, मैं सुबह वीडियो निकाल नहीं पाया क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा था इट वोंट बी फेयर टू रिएक्ट एट दैट पॉइंट विदाउट टेकिंग योर कमेंट्स एज वेल. ओके, फेयर इनफ. सो लेट मी एक्चुअली शेयर the link with Matt as well. Matt is going to join us hopefully. So, and yes, we are having Anshuman as well coming in. Michael may or may not join depending upon I think his schedule. But again, I've shared the link with Michael, but I'm just sharing the link with Matt meanwhile. And let me see if he can come in for sure. Matt, would love to have you even if for 30 minutes. It'd be brilliant. So let me actually get Matt, a fellow Chelsea fan, in the house. Okay, so I've just shared Matt the link. लेकिन the first thing is like Ronaldo. My first instinct क्या बोल रहा था भाई? Come on. Firstly, as a Chelsea fan who's watched Ronaldo play for all our kind of rival teams in a sense, especially Manchester United, मुझे नहीं लग रहा था कि he somehow fits Chelsea. Absolutely does not fit Chelsea in terms of the DNA. लेकिन obviously Ronaldo not fitting in a team, it cannot be possible. So then I was like नहीं यार, come on. अगर आएगा तो he's an upgrade. Just like I was talking all these days about Neymar. ठीक है? But the fact is, will it be another problem? I know Ronaldo is never a problem. Lekin if he's coming, okay, if he's coming by chance, then Tuchel will be like, nahi yaar, again we don't have a player who kind of is so mobile as the others. I know he's very fit. Nothing against him. Lekin it's just that do we need that kind of a player? We need the goals, bottom line. So I would still take him definitely. But will he kind of love Chelsea the same way or anywhere close to Real Madrid or Manchester United? Answer is no. Let's be honest about it. I would rather have a little bit of youngish player जहां पर हमें reinvest का भी kind of opportunity मिले, plus someone who's basically a little bit more hungrier. I know Ronaldo is hungry like anything. He wants to do it in the Champions League yet again. But we know that there might be an issue when it comes to basically just that extra element. एक होता है ना, एक प्यार होता है for the club that you play for. But I think over that they have also confirmed this morning, or अच्छा क्या I waited because this morning they have confirmed that again Fabrizio ने confirm किया है कि यार it's not going to be that Manchester United are going to let Ronaldo come. So Ronaldo is not coming, at least from Manchester United perspective. It was just a meeting between his agent and of course as in Todd Boehly, that is basically Chelsea's chairman and temporary director as well. Here we have Matt in the house. Matt, bro, how are you? And Anshuman, what timing? What timing?
Hello, yeah.
Nice to see you guys. So, Matt, firstly, since you came in here, and I know that you have short on time as well. Firstly, how you been? How you feeling about the Chelsea transfer window? I know there's lot no, lot to talk about it. Generally, compared to other clubs, because we're going to discuss in Liverpool, Manchester United, City, and the likes, right? How are you comparing our transfer window versus compared to the timing of our ownership? Will you give them a benefit of doubt?
Yeah, big up, Ankit. Appreciate having me. Obviously, always good to join for a bit on the channel. Obviously, yeah, the timing's always all over the place. I can never really join, but yeah, I give the benefit of the doubt to our manager, to our owners. I've said and kept it consistent that I don't want my new toy right now. However, if I'm in the stands in July 15th, July 14th, and we still haven't signed anyone, that's when I'm going to come at the owners and I'm going to be questioning them because yes, we're in a fast race and we're going very slow. We've seen Tottenham, we've seen Arsenal, we've seen City make massive moves, and we're with United who haven't made massive moves. Like even Villa have made a great move, so we're not at that stage yet. However, we could have the excuse to the point that we have the new ownership transferring in, so we don't need to panic as much. If we were with Roman, I would be panicking right now, but we're with the new ownership. We're transferring. Um, segments, people coming in, people coming out. It still doesn't give the excuse to not make transfers. We should be making transfers. However, it's at a slower rate. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the 15th, 16th of July. Again, we've just seen a Kunde. Kunde must be signed by July 5th if he wants to join the Chelsea. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, teams are giving us deadlines because we're so slow and we're not taking up on them. So, hopefully, we get some of this done.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And again, people are big up to Matt because Matt has a channel of his own. It's ZVO double I or triple I?
Yeah, double I.
Double I. Okay. Zoe is the channel. Absolutely. I'll try and add that in the link in the description below as soon as the stream is over. But always good to hear from fellow Chelsea fans, especially. But talking about transfers and no transfers, we have back in the house Anshuman from the United Road, and of course आप लोग ने सब देखा ही होगा अंशुमान को at the United Road. So अंशुमान पहले तो क्या हाल है? And भाई I know रातों रात बवाल मच गया है, लेकिन फिर से ठंडा पड़ गया in terms of how Fabrizio and all are kind of tackling this thing about Ronaldo. I first reacted, probably most of the United fans would have agreed as well, but come on man, Ronaldo to Chelsea never going to happen. ये मेरा भी पहला reaction था because he's Ten Hag's main kind of piece. But do you think, well, I'll put you a question, like, again, Fabrizio, he has taken out a video today and he's clearly said, कि यार अभी तक है ये, things might change अगर if he does not see in Manchester United things happening. Considering that some big club might come for him. Bayern Munich did not come for him. They clearly said they did not want him at that point in time. They cleared it out. Like in case maybe a Bayern Munich kind of a club comes again and Manchester United hasn't done transfers like Matt was saying about Chelsea, do you see what percentage of chances there that Ronaldo might just consider that, or might Manchester United has to listen to him? Come on.
All right. So, first of all, hello, Bhaiya. Great to be back. And I will just say one thing that it's all Jorge Mendes. People can talk about whatever they want, but I just think that Jorge Mendes, his mind, he has been at the pinnacle of you know handling the best players. All right, for like decades. It's not like he's a newcomer. He's not starting just right now. So I do feel, and what happens is Ronaldo knows, how to maintain his market value. He is a
Right.
businessman of his own. So first of all, United, Ronaldo to Chelsea never happening. Second, when you talk about Bayern Munich, you know, it's still like 5% that too if Lewandowski moves. And see, you are talking about George. I am talking about George Mendes effect. The news comes in yesterday night, a bit late, that there has been a meeting that has taken place, and today Romero comes in on his Twitch and he is like, everything is done with Frankie De Jong. All right, the improved bid it will be taken into place. Frankie de Jong is just waiting to take his final allowance, or you can say the final bonus that Bartomeu promised him when he joined Barcelona. So that's just
Mhm.
it. The moment he gets his bonus, United gets his first signing. So that's why I said, when people were talking about Ronaldo to Chelsea, I said never gonna happen. To Bayern Munich, it
Same
might
here,
happen.
same here.
It might happen. To Bayern Munich, I won't say it's never gonna happen
लेकिन
because
तीसरा क्लब यार, अंशुमन क्विकली मैं बोलना चाहूंगा, यूवेंटस इज समवेयर इन बिटवीन. अब देखो, यूवेंटस आर लाइक, बिकॉज इंटर मिलान हैव डन बैडनेस इन द ट्रांसफर विंडो. ठीक है, हो सकता है कि यूवेंटस फील दैट प्रेशर, एंड दैट इज व्हाई आल्सो रोनाल्डो आल्सो technically has unfinished business there, because that was a task that you can say that he did not go for there to win the Serie A only, right? He went there to win the Champions League. Or Juventus might be that club because they are already there in the Champions League, that they might be able to attract, because he already knows Turin. So
see,
can
I
that come
think
into
he,
picture?
he left with a bad taste in his mouth when it comes to Juventus.
Yeah.
The people treated as if he has not achieved anything. Come on, he was the guy who was scoring goals for you left, right, and center. He
Mm-hmm.
left, and no one even got close to what numbers he achieved. So obviously
Mm.
people overreact. They thought the moment Ronaldo got out, whatever the reason is, the resurgence of Milan, you can say, both the Milan clubs, you can say whatever you can say, you have not won, right? You have not won. Ronaldo left, you are struggling to maintain that championship thing. So that's why I say that he left with a bitter taste. So I don't think at this point of time Juventus is an option. One thing which I can see is might be, far away. Bayern Munich, if they are not able to have a leash on,
Replace.
Lewandowski, you
Exactly.
know,
Yeah. Oh,
might
oh,
just
that
might
might.
just
So things might change. Very very interesting comment Anshuman has made there, because everyone remembers last season. Transfer windows work like this, and that's the nature of the the business that we are in. So last season, everyone remembers Ronaldo was not available, and then he became available, and then Man City came in, and then Manchester United obviously as in went, and obviously he's going to go to Manchester United. We all knew that. So that's what. So that is why I had a slight thing that Juventus might still be a possibility in the last moments. I know it was a bad taste in the mouth, but when Jose Mourinho left Chelsea back in the day, I always say, Matt will remember that, that the second time homecoming of Jose Mourinho, a lot of people questioned it because the way he left the first time around. I know it's a manager, it's a different situation, and but you can say in manager's world, he's the goat as well, one of the goats, right? Along with Sir Alex at the time and all those, and Arsene Wenger, right? Technically, but still, he came back and he loved the club. So with Ronaldo being an experienced player, he'll probably understand that. That's why I'm seeing that. But talking about Juventus, I have to move on to Matt here quickly. And every Chelsea fan, especially, and not just that, even Serie A fans, you tell, let me know. Matt knows my opinion on Timo Werner. I know Matt's opinion on Timo Werner. So Timo Werner is what is being offered to Juventus, right? Todd Boehly has done, I don't know, one FIFA masterstroke that we all know in FIFA. But Timo Werner to Juventus and getting Delict, it is quite looking likely. But as per very very high sources, I'm looking at a fee of around 70 million is what they want in terms of euros. I think we are quoting somewhere around 30 to 40 million. Is there a midway ground? Do you see this realistically happening? And how good of a fit will be Delict, Matt, for you?
I mean, adding Werner to it, we'll add like because Juventus want money, so we add Werner to it. It's like what 50 million plus Werner equals 51 million max. To be for me, Werner's worth absolutely nothing. I don't think for us, it's us getting rid of him is better than Juventus taking him. I mean, Juventus are losing Dybala and then possibly Morata, so they could use another source of striker. So that would be fantastic if we can get rid of Werner. Now, the likelihood of Delict the league's put his release clause from 120 to 75. Right, so we just got to pay him 75 million. He's already had an argument with Juventus. Juventus dropped his wages. Juventus and Delict are not on good terms. So if we come in, we just pay that 75 million a release clause, done deal. If we can add Werner to it, 75 million plus Werner, I'll do that. If we can get it down to 60 million plus Werner, I'll do that. But I just want Delict at this club because we really know what he could bring to this club. We really know his urgency, his mentality, his leadership is what drives him to become a fantastic footballer. And who better to do other than the best manager in the world? So, looking at it right now, I don't see Werner leaving to Juventus. I think that's going to be highly unlikely, but I do see us progressing the league, hopefully with the cash, 75 million cash.
Yeah, that's a good call. And again, people in the chat, आप सब भी बोलिए सब लोग और भाई काफी लोग हैं लेकिन I believe that we can certainly have more people because जैसे मैंने बोला this is a transfer show which will include Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool contract talk से भी बात करेंगे. Is there some kind of a surprise there? And not just that, Man City, Newcastle, of course. A little bit of Barcelona and Bayern Munich तो हमने किया ही already. So let's get in more people. उस वो कैसे आएंगे? You have to hit that like button. Let's hit the like button so that we have more people and हम आपसे भी राय जाना चाहेंगे. What do you think about Ligt to Chelsea? मतलब I am still rating it kind of a so-so because of the price. It's a bit too much for me. Werner plus 70-80 million is too much. But now the fact that Marina Granovskaia is not there, if she was there, I would have been a little bit more confident because of the negotiation skills.
Really?
That's the only reason. But now that she's not there, and Burley, yeah, obviously he brings a larger presence. But अगर खुद करे ना, I don't see him kind of negotiating to that extent. Let's see if we can get it down to even maybe 50 million. Maybe we might get tempted, but I doubt that Juventus will let him go because really the kind of player he is. But even I know Matt, you're stuck on the time. That's why I'm kind of throwing the next question back at you again. Talking about Serie A as well, your comments are coming through about Ziyech to AC Milan. Like, where are you on this? Again, you know that I'm a Ziyech fan, right? But the
Mm.
fact is, he's not applied himself enough. Do you think that the fact that Lukaku is going to Inter Milan in a strange way gave him that extra precedence? Okay, fine. Okay, if I ask, maybe Chelsea will let me go. Is that what happened? You think? Do you think, or it's more about just Tuchel not liking him?
I think it's just a matter that he didn't fit the Premier League. I'm a massive fan of Ziyech. When he came, I was so excited. That was my favorite signing that we got. But I'm an honest, Chelsea fan. Unlike half our Chelsea fans who are Player FC. I'm a massive fan of Ziyech, but I know he flopped. He flopped. We did not see the Ajax Ziyech we all hoped and thought. And for me, it's that he just didn't adjust to the Premier League. We saw that with him and Werner. There were two players who just couldn't adjust to the Premier League. He was just, I think, physically weak. I think with that shoulder injury, that's an injury that I heard from a doctor that is just physical weak. It was a pop. There was no contact to it. That's because he was physically weak. He didn't strengthen that shoulder. There's no muscle on him, unfortunately. He didn't change it over COVID like Mount did, like Havertz did. They put a bit of Kovacic, they put a bit of weight on. He didn't, and he didn't adapt to it. We thought he had the speed. He didn't have the speed. So I think it's just a matter that Tuchel tried to use him as much as possible. I would say he didn't give him 100%. I agree. I think he left him out for quite a bit. I remember he had that great form. It was early year, I think
Super Cup
December.
and then against Spurs, I think he scored a brilliant goal, right? As in,
It
so he
was
had
it
his
was
moments for sure.
And I think Tuchel didn't progress him on that pitch. He took him off for no reason. We saw Werner, he had his little 3 game form, Havertz little 3 game form. They fell off. Ziyech was having 3, 4 fantastic games, and then Tuchel already just subbed him off. So I agree, Tuchel didn't use him 100%. However, I don't see if he did use him 100%, he would have progressed to the level we were expecting. He's a fantastic player with natural talent. I just don't
Mhm.
think he fit our team, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he will next season either.
Absolutely. And yes, people, yes, it's an international guest, and I know Matt isn't stuck on time. That's why I'm kind of throwing a couple of questions to him, and
Yeah.
I'll be tagging him as well after the stream. Having said that, your question, bhai, Anshuman, back at you. Like again, मतलब worst case scenario में मतलब I know that आपने already जवाब दे दिया, but what do you think? The fact कि I'll give you an example. यहाँ पर मानव ने बहुत अच्छा comment मारा था about Malaysia. Malaysia as a left back for
Yeah,
5
I
more who
will.
played
I
and
saw his comment. I wanted to respond, but वो
right,
तक तो
right.
चले गया था तो I will
हाँ
respond
तो
to the other question.
मतलब दिस इज एन एग्जांपल राइट आप उसको भी साइन नहीं कर पा रहे हो आप टिम्बर को भी नहीं कर पा रहे हो तो दीज आर ऑल काइंड ऑफ
In
साइंस इवन टू
Malaysia,
रोनाल्डो एंड मेंडेस
for Malaysia, we were never in the race.
ओके
We don't need someone like Malaysia.
या
If
बिकॉज
we
यू
are
ऑलरेडी
not,
हैव टू लेफ्ट बैक इट्स जस्ट दैट फॉर्म
we
खराब था
already have two left back. We have Alvaro Fernandez, which we are thinking of making our first choice in the next 2 years. What are we going to do with a 15 million signing again, Malaysia? Makes no sense. If we
बिल्कुल
had a
बिल्कुल
clarity that all right, one of them is definitely going, all right, we have definitely tried. But with Alvaro Fernandez waiting in the wings, that guy is absolutely phenomenal. You know, on the both sense of the pitch. So makes no sense कि Malaysia को लेके आओ for 12-15 million. He has gone to the level of his club. I think Leon गया है वो.
हाँ लियोन इज व्हाट इज
Yeah.
बीन अग्रीड
So
अपॉन
he is moving from Feyenoord to Lyon. So not much of a difference. अपने level पे ही है वो. So guys like these, obviously you can try. But then at this point of time, even I have said that before on my streams as well, that for United at this point of time, it's all Frankie de Jong. The
Yeah.
moment Frankie de Jong deal goes out of the way, you will see United making moves in the market in terms of other players as well. Manager is absolutely sure that he wants one guy, that's Frankie de Jong, and he knows that he cannot let it be him, the last guy. We might not get him. We might
Mm-hmm.
not get him. So at this point of time, according to Romero, we have paid 80 million plus variables. That's like 2 or 3 million that Barca wanted more. So I have been saying this for 3 weeks. That United is definitely going to sign Frankie De Jong. When it comes to Ronaldo, he's not going anywhere according to me. If he goes, I think it would be, few days back he was linked to Roma, then he was linked to Sporting. So whenever any report comes from Portugal, basically, I just laugh it off. I don't even read it. I don't
नहीं
even read it.
मतलब मैं क्यों बोल रहा हूँ मतलब अगेन मतलब कमेंट्स आ रहे थे आई हैव टू जस्ट एड्रेस सम ऑफ देम हैविंग सेड दैट भाई यार सब लोग हैं आज लाइक में तो लाइक्स में काफी कंजूसी कर रहे हैं लाइक्स कर दो इट डजंट टेक अ बक लेट्स लाइक द स्ट्रीम सो दैट वी हैव मोर पीपल हो सके तो शेयर भी कर दो भाई मतलब मैंने ट्वीट किया इसके बारे में एज वेल एज बेसिकली आई पोस्टेड ऑन इंस्टा and on my community page if you can just like that as well it'll be brilliant we'll have more people and I know people are asking for Baba was unfortunately not available for this particular stream lekin I am discussing with Baba later tonight as well but we'll just kind of go over that as well having said that I think again sticking to Anshuman and Manchester United because यहाँ पर वही है देखो जैसे Burnley is basically no Man City B team you'll see a lot of Man City youngsters going there which has already kind of you can say in a way started happening so would you see like एक होता है ना the relegated teams etc like why didn't kind of United and Chelsea this is basically for both of you in fact first Anshuman को लेते हैं do you see that that is a miss because rather than even being linked to maybe Ten Hag is coming great he knows players in the industry and I know paper talk होता है ज़्यादातर more the Dutch players are getting linked because of obvious reasons but would it not have been better if, say, a Manchester United or Chelsea would have actually gone and targeted proper Burnley as in centre half, Burnley, even Vegas for that matter, the backup striker. I'm just kind of throwing out names. So strategy में कहीं ना कहीं एक गलती हुई है. You think because new manager itself coming, it's better to have players who are kind of proven more in the Premier League, Anshuman?
No, I don't think so. When
No.
you are coming to a new league, you want the players who will die for you. You know, you want that extra effort. When you look at United, half of the players are absolutely dumbos. Okay, they
Mhm.
have sold 2 or 3 managers down the drain. They basically plays according to what they want to do on the pitch. So we have seen that. First of all, the thing that Eric Ten Hag wants to change is the mentality. So when he brings someone like Anthony or when he brings someone like Frankie De Jong, he knows what he's gonna get from them. And we all know Eric Ten Hag, no nonsense manager. We have
Yeah.
already shipped out. We have already shipped out the people who were leaking information. The team news and all that stuff. Pogba is gone, the biggest nuisance at the club. So taking steps at this point of time, slowly, but taking steps in the right direction. And that's why I said that when he's targeting those players, he knows what he's going to get from them. And that's why I said someone like Donny van der Beek and Frankie de Jong under this manager, they're absolutely gonna nail it if given a proper chance. You know, when Donny van der Beek came, everyone was like, he is not needed, he's not bulked up. But then if you're not going to give a certain player a certain amount of chance, you would never know what he's capable of. And if someone is
Yeah,
saying
that's a fair
that,
point.
if someone is saying that Macfred is better than Donny van der Beek, you know, I can take them in certain games, but there was absolutely, you know, when it comes to confidence killing, that was done on the part of Ralph Rangnick as well as first Ole, then Ralph. That all right, you are sticking, but then you have to give certain players some chance, otherwise you won't know. We just kept on hearing, he is doing great things in training. Let him play. Give him a run of 5 or 6 games. Everyone needs that game time when he's coming from a different league. Simple as that. So that's why I say that that's why he is going for the players that he knows what can do for him. When you look at Anthony, he wants Anthony because now we are not in the market for a striker. We had our chance with Nunez, but yeah, Liverpool took him. And to be very honest, I think not paying 100 million for a one season striker for me makes sense. At that point of time, I would have been happy if United would have gone for like 60 million. But if one season striker is getting 100 million, it was better than we spend the money someone else. We could have, we can get absolute two players like at this point of time. Even after signing Frankie De Jong, if we sell certain players after from our squad, we can still end up with Lisandro Martinez, always as Anthony. All right, because
Okay.
their combined price is like
So
100.
quickly, who's your preference? मतलब I know मैं तो चेल्सी के लिए बोल
Lisandro
बोल रहा हूँ. I
Martinez.
think Matt will agree. Beggars are not choosers. चेल्सी के लिए तो that. But what about you, Anshuman?
I would definitely go with Lisandro Martinez here. The reason
Lisandro
being,
Martinez.
he can play as a CDM, he can play as a
Yeah.
left back, he can play as a
Mm.
centre back.
Left-footed,
All right,
right? Correct.
exactly. So he can give you three choices. You know,
Okay.
aerially he might.
But quality wise, don't you think like it's kind of surprising that United not going hard on, let's say, Pau Torres just because of the Dutch connection? They're going for Lisandro Martinez. I'm just kind of putting it out there.
So when you look at the stats, when you look at what they are doing basically in their respective leagues and even in Europe, almost
Mm-hmm.
similar, almost similar. When you look at Pau Torres, he's one of the worst when it comes aerially.
Right.
He absolutely gets shattered. Basically dominated by everyone. He has improved, but he's still not there yet. Lisandro Martinez, aerially he also struggles, but then his tackling and his interceptions, he makes up for that. And that's why someone like Lisandro Martinez, I see him as someone who can play in the middle of the park. I still believe that Maguire and Varane are going to do the job. With Bailey will be going out, Tinzevi will be going out. So we might go for a centre back. The season is long in terms of transfer window, but at this point of time, I do see and I do feel that two players plus sales for United at this point of time. If Ericsson comes in, that's gonna be a bonus. So we are just waiting for 30th June to know whether he's going to join us or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'll throw back at Matt because yes, I'm going to take a few people in the chat comments. भी आप wait करिए सब लोग. The reason I'm not taking a lot of comments right now is because first of all भाई लोग कम है. आ जाओ भाई और मैं पता है यार. By the way, shout out to the entire YouTube community. I love everyone and everyone loves me. I know that. And thanks for everything. Yeah, this is something that I didn't want to do it, but I have to say it. Like La Pulga Messi, I'm like not giving a shout out. This is something that I've noticed in all my streams that if any other YouTuber is kind of live, you actually say in the chat yaar ye live hai, let's go there. No, this is not acceptable at all. This is absolutely not acceptable because you're even maybe yaar काफी I work hard like others, like, and I respect everyone here. Okay, so let's not do this. That clearly means that you don't like me. If you don't like me, don't come here, bhai. Get lost. If you don't like me, get lost. But love to all the YouTubers. उनकी गलती नहीं है. People, very kids are there in the chat who are not everyone. Couple of them are really foolish people who don't know how to kind of deal with things. So I'm not going to be a backup to anyone. But sorry for that panel, but I had to kind of put in there because people again they get influenced easily, and here I am to correct things because everyone who follows me closely know how much of football I know and how much of basically content we do. And I've also learned from others, so respect to all the YouTubers as well here. But Matt, coming back to you, like come on, like even we've been following the Ronaldo story overnight. Literally every tweet I'm kind of I'm putting a notification on here and looking at what's happened. But the fact is, it all started from I think the meeting, like Anshuman said, right, about George Mendes and of course Boehly meeting. Now, as per Fabricio, this happened a few days ago. That's the best part, right? So George Mendes has quite a few clients. We all know quite a few clients. Uh, I think one other name which came up is Rafael Leao. I know Rafael Leao, AC Milan. I also support AC Milan in a sense. So I know that they are saying they are not for sale.
It sounds
So
familiar.
Rafael Leao,
Is that the young guy?
yeah, the Portuguese
Oh
guy,
yeah. Oh yeah, I
the
know who he
the
is.
well-built
Yeah.
winger, right? As in who did really well in the Nations League as well. But again, there are many names out there. So any names which comes to mind, like I'll try and put up a pick that I have, which has a list of players with George Mendes as their agent, right? So let's see, as in if there's anyone out there who's actually as in worthy enough to actually be there. I don't know. Let me actually try and pull it up. Okay, here I have one list. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is, I'll try and remove the banner so that you guys say, let me try and maximize a little bit more if I can. So basically, okay, Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, Rafael Leao, João Cancelo, Fabinho, Diogo Jota. I think most of them are not available anyway. David
Yeah.
Nunes, Edison, Guedes, who's a left winger, I think for Valencia, Ruben Neves, Pedro Neto, Andre Silva, and Cristiano Ronaldo is what we have here. Vitinha as well, by the way, who's apparently moved, if I'm not wrong, to PSG. So out of these, Rafael Leao only is the guy. Any other name that you feel that Chelsea should forget the George Mendes kind of story, which Anshuman kind of doesn't believe in? Are you like for forwards, you're like stuck on Sterling, you're sold on Sterling? What are you thinking?
That's like a massive list. I think a lot of them are unrealistic. I think if we're talking unrealistic, I would love Bernardo Silva. I think we all would love him. I think he's an actual absolute talent. I think he's perfect what we need is a central midfielder who can also play wing. However, obviously going to that Ronaldo news, yeah, I don't really believe it. I'm getting myself excited. I think we all want a player like him. Oh, right there, if we're looking realistically, Alt Nori, Ryan Alt Nori, the French guy, he's a fantastic backup, but I think they're wanting 45 million euros for him or 45 million pounds, which is unbelievable. I would not pay that much. But again, it's a massive list he has. But you asked a question on Sterling. I've always said I'm not convinced on Sterling, but we're looking at the realistic standpoint. There's no A-list attackers we can possibly get, so I would take him. I'm not a fan of him. I don't mind his stats. He's a bit inconsistent, but I'm fine with that. I'm just scared. Is this another player who played alongside De Bruyne, who played alongside Premier League winners? They then come in our team and get creativity from Mason Mount, and downgrade from that. That's what I'm scared of. If he can do the same job he did at City and Chelsea. But I think we're on the standpoint is that whatever Tuchel wants, we kind of go for. And if Tuchel wants Raheem Sterling, bring him in because we got to build a team around Tuchel. Remember, so whatever Tuchel wants. But again, the Ronaldo news. It's a dream. We know we need a finisher, and who better than the second best player in the world? Messi first, but Ronaldo's second best player in the world to then come in and finish the job. Like he's the best at finishing the ball.
We are like very opportunistic right now. Todd Boehly at least is bringing the street smartness, maybe, but I don't. Matlab, I don't think we can implement it. That's the worst part, right? I mean, because maybe if Todd Boehly would have come in one month earlier, the homework that Marina did while she was here, along with Bruce Buck and Petr, maybe that would have been a better situation. Right now, we are like, okay, whatever is available, just go for it, man. So I
Maybe,
kind
but
of
I'm
get.
I'm convinced though. Like, I'm convinced Top Boy who can do a good job. Marina, Marina. Like I was never this big fanboy of Marina. I didn't really. I understood
Yeah,
her
yeah.
job more, but I think I think you're right though. If we did this a bit earlier, I think now
See, that's the
all the
thing,
news.
right? Because I think all the homework, again, when it comes to Sterling as well, as per the tweet that I saw from Fabricio, I believe that another proposal is going to go to Man City. And the
Yes.
earlier proposal was around 25 million pounds. And I think they are expecting us to double that. That is
Yeah.
what I think the minimum expectation is. And obviously, Todd Boehly now comes in. Now, there has been some amount of homework done by Marina as well that we cannot kind of disregard. And that's the whole point. Like when you are in the middle of a conversation, just like we guys are talking, right? In the middle of the conversation, we just cannot leave or we cannot just interrupt. We don't like it, and that's what happened in between Man City and Chelsea when it comes to Sterling. That could have been sorted out, and we could have moved on to the centre back. And but this is a great question. Just while I was asking, what about Joao Felix? Joao Felix is
Mm.
very strongly linked. I think City rumors are not really real, in my opinion, because they have like too many attackers, man. As it is, I don't see that happening. And
But
this is
if
a
they
guy
get rid of
who
Sterling, I was saying today on my stream, if they get rid of Sterling, they've got Grealish, Foden, Haaland, Mahrez. Who else is
no,
their
they
attack?
have Alvarez also is coming, right? So as per
Oh
the
yeah, they're
reports, they are
loaning.
not
Yeah,
letting him
yeah,
out
yeah.
on loan here as well. And
So they're
remember, even
five.
Bernardo Silva can play on the wings. Okay, so they
Oh
have
yeah, true.
technically
So
six
that's
people.
six. Yeah, they have a lot.
And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have, I think they have a youngster. I'm forgetting the name from. It starts from P.
Kalmar, I
Oh yeah,
think.
Palmer. Exactly, he's the guy.
Yeah,
So
seven.
Cole Palmer,
Yeah.
exactly. So seven people is I think more than enough. Having said that, Joao Felix to Spurs again. Someone who's actually seen Conte, would you think that Conte will be able to manage him because he's coming out of Atletico Madrid firstly to get better football, I'm assuming. Secondly, I think he wants first team football. He's not at this point in
Yeah.
time, very strangely, not in the starting level of Portugal, right? So I think for in a World Cup year, Joao Felix is probably wanting to get first team football. Do you see him getting first team football in Spurs? Come on, how's he going to get
I mean,
with Son, Kane?
on paper, Tottenham have a better team than us right now. So if they get Joao Felix, that's gonna be crazy. Because I was looking at his stats actually yesterday, and he's only started 33% for Atletico Madrid in the Liga. So he barely starts anymore for in the Liga Atletico. So if Tottenham get him, which I don't think they will, but I'm gonna be scared if they keep upgrading their team. But I personally wouldn't take him at Chelsea. I said the point that personally I think Joao Felix has natural talent and he's probably going to be fantastic. But at this very moment, I would take Sterling over him, and everyone went crazy at me because I would prefer someone who's Premier League proven, who has the experience. We've been wanting this for seasons on seasons on seasons. We have our chance. Let's bring in Sterling. Let's see how a Premier League proven player does. And then maybe in a couple of years we can go and fight for Joao Felix if he does well at Atletico, because recently he doesn't really have that urge at Atletico Madrid, to really put it 100%. It's not there that it was that we saw previously as Benfica. So I don't know what to really think of Joao Felix. It's a massive risk to take, and obviously Atletico, I think 95 million or 80 million they want, so it's a massive, massive risk.
फेयर इनफ यहाँ पर अगेन यार कुछ कमेंट ले रहा हूँ मैं, काफी मुझे हंसी आ रही है क्योंकि यार मतलब वही है, मतलब सिटी फैंस इन द हाउस एंड दैट्स द थिंग. बाय द वे एवरीवन, अगेन प्लीज लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब. द मोर पीपल वी हैव, द मोर लाइक्स वी हैव, उतने ही ज्यादा कन्वर्सेशंस होंगे. But yes, we are coming to all the clubs. So don't worry, even City fans, lot of conversations वहाँ पर हम शुरू कर दिए already. And of course, Matt, you can let me know, brother, the moment you think it's very late. Let me know.
Yeah,
But
about 5 minutes ahead of, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll move on to Anshuman. Yeah, Anshuman, यहाँ पर एक comment आते हुए मानव से, the current story is very similar to the summer saga of City. It's true. लेकिन having said that, I think वहाँ पर the difference is it was United and City where there is a different level of rivalry also. Plus the fact that Ronaldo was a red devil. He's always a red devil. You know that, right? Kind of for many years. So I think we cannot really equate the context. But that's why I was laughing like maybe.
And
If
that's
that
why
was
I
the
said
case,
that George Mendes know how to get the best, out of other teams. He just had to put the word that City is going for Ronaldo. That was just enough to make the empire crumble at United. Simple as that. Imagine if the Glazers at that point of time, didn't go for Ronaldo, and if he somehow ended up at City, Glazers would have never set foot in Manchester ever again. Ever again.
yeah. I think वही है, Glazers का point आ जाता है ना, वहाँ पर थोड़ा angle turn हो जाता है. Having said that,
Mendes knows how to play with the feelings at this point of time. He has been he has been managing Ronaldo since as long as we know. So, and when you look at the Portuguese players under him, he knows how to get the best out for his clients. But yeah, he'd do it in a sensible way. Raiola used to basically extort from the clubs. So that's why Mendes is respected. Raiola was hated. That's the difference.
fair enough. I'm going to throw back at Matt because Matt, I know that you just have a couple more minutes. Quickly here, and again, people, जो भी आए, let's like the stream so that we have more people and get in your questions. We are going to cover every club possible, right, in the next half an hour or more. So, Matt, here the question goes for you. I know that this comment is coming from a City fan in Manav, or by the way, big up to Manav and of course Shrey Patil, हमारे members who joined किए the live stream as always. लेकिन Manav, I hear you absolutely, bro. लेकिन what do you think, Matt, about this thing? Because I think Sterling, if I'm not wrong, he does not have much length of the contract left. And the fact that he's not a starter there at Chelsea is probably going to be told that he's going to be a starter, I'm assuming. In terms of the value, what do you think should be the right value for Sterling at this point in time, considering what has happened in the last 18 months with him?
No, I think Mana was completely correct. Like, it is insulting because City fans want 75 million, 80 million for him because they think he's done a fantastic job, which I think he has. He's done great for City, but look at the realistic standpoint. His contract ending, he's aging. Personally, I would only pay 35, 30 for him, 35, 40, because the reason I really wanted him is because we got a great deal for him. If we're going to pay 55, 60 for him, there's no point going for him. We might as well go for a Rafinha, because for me, I think Rafinha and Demba are the two attackers I want. But if we can't get Rafinha, let's go for Sterling because he's so cheap. But for City fans, it is a bit of an insult that we're asking for so little. And I think that's the new strategy we're going for the Bowies, is we're offering super, super low, and then they reject us, and then we give them what they want, because we're doing that with Kunde as well. We're only offering them, I think, £45 or something. So we're doing the same strategy for them. Like you said, we offered them low, they didn't take it. So now we make our way up. But I would take him, as I said, 35, 40 million pounds. and we'll see what happens there. But it is a bit of an insult for City fans. I agree. But again,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he could be a massive hit or miss for Chelsea.
Oh wow. Let's see, let's see. And before going, Matt, like again, closing thoughts as to who are the outs of Chelsea at this point in time. I know we speak about it literally every week, but now that these transfer stories have come in, like we're probably seeing Timo Werner getting out because he was actually at LA Dodgers and he was actually donning
Yeah.
the
So
jersey of LA Dodgers. So I don't know. There are two kind of stories coming out. What do you think? And
about
anyone
Werner
else?
leaving.
Yeah. Generally,
Oh,
who are the people who are going to leave? You think from Chelsea?
yeah, I mean, obviously we're monitoring FC, interesting FC, we're all the FCs except for signing FC. But I will speak about Werner because I really think Werner and Ziyech are the two to leave for the attacking role. And I think it's great we're removing some of the depth. For me, Ziyech, as a massive fan, it kills me to say as well, he is part of the dead wood like Werner. So I think removing them, bringing in two more would be the best move. But we'll see what happens. But I think exiting Werner's going to go to Italy, Germany. He's going to go score 20 goals, 25 goals, like Tammy did. Like Lukaku's going to go do. Doesn't mean he should return. So hopefully we see that soon.
Yeah, and DM last question, Jorginho, you're okay with him staying and us not changing the formation because I think the point is if Jorginho stays and is to be utilized, he has to be utilized in the current system. I don't think he can work in a
Yeah.
4-3-3, right? So that's the only problem with Jorginho. Or you see like the fact that Pogba has now gone to Juventus, and back in the day, I know different players, but obviously we cannot compare. Andre Pirlo, the legend, was there next to him.
Yeah.
Maybe they might get tempted that McKennie is not that kind of player, Zakaria is not that kind of a player. Jorginho is maybe a little bit more closer, nowhere close to Pirlo. Don't get me wrong, don't quote me, people. Like what I'm trying to say is like at least the kind of ilk, the similar ilk of player that Jorginho is to Pirlo, with Pogba being there, and then maybe we can go for a cheaper option like a Sangare from the Dutch league or something like that.
Mm.
How are you on the DM position?
I mean, for me, I've always wanted Tushimeni. I remember Amir put me back on Tushimeni back in like
He's gone, bro.
2020.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. So it's like personally, I don't want Basmati. I don't want Declan Rice. I don't want him anywhere near the club because Declan Rice, if you love it or hate him, he needs someone to hold his hand. He needs a double pivot CDM role. I would not change our system to play around him. Now, Jorginho, he is capable of playing as a CDM. He's not the best, but he's much better in our system now. I agree. We have to play Jorginho in a double pivot system if we want to keep him for his best abilities. However, I still would keep him. I will not sell him. I'm a massive fan of Jorginho. Top 3 Ballon d'Or winner. I had to argue with Paul Canaville about Jorginho a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember. But I personally wouldn't. Sangare, I've been saying this, and I keep saying this. I haven't watched him yet, so I can't dictate on him. But what I've heard is he's, I don't know. People say he's great, blah 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 blah. Well, I need to see how he is and how he fits in our team. But I don't
Wow.
think it's a massive
And
option to
I'm
go
sure
for
there are going
now.
to be Chelsea fans commenting now. But having said that, yeah, big up to Matt for sure for just taking the time because where Matt is, it's really late. So, Matt, thanks a lot for coming on. Of course, great thoughts. And of course, we will go to talk a lot of transfer stories in the coming weeks. People out
Okay,
there, if in case आप नहीं check किया, please check करिए. You can see Matt's handle there. You can follow him on Twitter as well as on YouTube. So please do give him a follow as well. And Matt, see you soon, mate.
take care, Ankit. I'll see you
Bye.
soon. Take care, Ashton. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. The
Take care,
United fan.
Anshumaan.
Sorry,
Anshumaan.
sorry. Thank you, man. Take care.
No problem. Take it, take it. Okay, so मैच gone of course and yes, यहाँ पर यार आ जाते हैं अपने भाषा में थोड़ा सा because obviously Matt being there we had to respect that a little bit, which is always it's a fan channel for all to see. And again, yes, people, again I am kind of mentioning Anshuman, I'm sorry यार थोड़ा सा
अरे
ऊपर
कोई
नीचे
बात
हो
नहीं
रहा
है.
है. मैं मेंशन करना पाऊंगा यार. The fact is यार there are people out there in the chat who are really really lovely, who love me as well as I love them. एंड सो इज अ कम्युनिटी राइट. एंड आप लोग सबने देखा है जो हुआ था मेरे साथ 2-3 महीने पहले, 2 महीने पहले भी, राइट. सो देर आर सम पीपल हु आर सो जॉबलेस दैट वो आकर आते एक और अकाउंट बनाते हैं और उससे भी वो वापस से ट्राई करते हो. आप करते रहिए भाई. मुझे अपना लेसन मिल गया है, ठीक है. आप करते रहिए. आप जितना करोगे ना उतना ही people will get to know that okay fine you are insecure and that is why others will love me and trust me on that.
Exactly.
And they don't love me by the name. I don't have a fancy name, I know that. मेरा नाम अंकित है, Almighty Blues FC is very simple, I know that. I don't want to keep a fancy name because the fact is I want to be known about my content, and I want to be known about the kind of panel who comes, the kind of people who support me. I think they're good. आई एम ओके विद दैट. मैं यहाँ पर नहीं आपसे भीख मांगूंगा डेफिनेटली. और जो भी करता है, आई कैन नॉट थैंक यू इनफ, यू नो, हु कैन एक्चुअली सपोर्ट मी. एंड यस, especially the members जो है, again you can check it out that there is a membership out there. And yes, we discuss literally every club, literally every second day. ठीक है, तो काफी सारा कंटेंट मिलेगा. You won't be disappointed. That's why I've named it as it's a fan channel for all to see. ठीक है. बट अगेन यार 22 साल मैंने पापड़ नहीं बेले भाई, इतना बोल देता हूँ जो भी कर रहा है. हैविंग सेड दैट, अंशुमान, बैक टू यू भाई. लाइक कम ऑन, हम इतना बात करें ट्रांसफर्स के बारे में, थोड़ा सा लिवरपूल एंगल भी लाते हैं. आई नो एज अ राइवल यू वोंट बी काइंड ऑफ डिससैटिस्फाइड कि भाई जो हो रहा है साला के साथ, जो हुआ है, माने चला गया बाहर, लेकिन डार्विन नूनेस अगेन कंपीटिंग में, दे हैव गॉट डार्विन नूनेस. अब डार्विन नूनेस वी ऑल नो, वी हैव स्पोकन अबाउट लास्ट स्ट्रीम में भी, मुझे याद है आपसे बात हुई थी यार. एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम ही इज अ लिटिल बिट ओवर प्राइस फॉर श्योर, प्रीटी श्योर, राइट. उसमें कोई शुगर कोटिंग है ही नहीं. लेकिन वो ये मार्केट वैल्यू डिटरमाइंस, दे हैव गॉन फॉर इट, क्योंकि यार यहाँ पर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड भी थी, वो भी थे. दे न्यू दैट दे हैड टू पे. ठीक है. एंड ऑब्वियसली यू नो लिवरपूल, द पोजीशन दैट दे आर इन, हैविंग क्लॉप, दे हैव गॉट हिम. लेकिन अभी माने चला गया है. साला के साथ जो चल रहा है, आई थिंक 350 ऑड, आई थिंक व्हाट इज बीन ऑर्डर्ड,
400,000
हाँ, तो ही वांट्स 400,000. So, do you think it's a clear case of, again, हम जॉर्ज मेंडेस के बारे में बात करते हैं, is it a clear case of just agent milking Liverpool, or do you think that Salah actually, again, मैं मैच से पूछना भूल गया, लेकिन again like a Ronaldo, unfinished business United था, he came back and United. Who knows that Salah also may have some unfinished business. Again, Chelsea fans might be thinking मैं क्या बोलने वाला हूँ, but you never know. Is there an opportunity for Chelsea that we should be tempting Salah, or do you think it's just agent talk?
With Salah, I definitely see Salah moving. You know, the way Liverpool hierarchy is handling Salah. You know, it's one thing that you have. You know, it's one thing you have that you are not. You know, you are not going to break up your wage structure. You know, you want to keep your wage structure. It's totally different thing that one guy who has basically changed your entire club, and you still are not willing to pay him the money. You know, so I definitely see Salah moving. Whether, you know, I don't see he's going in this window. He might just leave on a free agent, and when it's free agent market, you never know who's gonna come up. But in this season, you know, Salah is definitely not leaving. And 400,000 for me, I think in this crazy world, you know, I think it's a fair evaluation for Salah. You know, because of the things he has done for the club. You know, it's not like someone like Henderson coming out and asking for 400,000. उसको टपली मार के बिठा देंगे, तू बैठ जा. You know? But when you have someone like Salah who has basically changed your entire dimension of the club, you know, so few players, you know, they deserve it. You know, they absolutely deserve it. There is absolutely no chance that you don't have that money. You know, Liverpool have that money. They can definitely go out and they can pay Salah the money. And you know, and I think when it comes to Salah asking for 400,000, you know, he deserves it. As JSK is saying, he definitely deserves it. Plus, also that shows a statement of intent by Liverpool. All right, by Liverpool, that, you know, we want to keep our best players. You know, obviously we are trying to negotiate, but if we have to go a bit over the top to keep our best player, we will do that. You know, that also shows the signal of intent. It's not like, you know, Salah is waging all out war on the Liverpool board. No, he's not doing it. He is being as respectful as he could be. You know, he is not doing a Paul Pogba. You know, his agent is not coming out every other day and he is saying, you know, we will make Salah move. You know, we have clubs waiting in the wings. He is not doing that. Obviously, at one point of time, anyone will feel the frustration. But then, at the same point of time, I think what Salah, you know, I think he will respect the contract. You know, he will respect the contract. If he is not getting what he wants, he can easily move to Juventus or Real Madrid next season. You know.
ओके इंटरेस्टिंग. मतलब रियल मैड्रिड वही है, मतलब अगर वो रोड्रिगो चांस देते ना, एनी रियल मैड्रिड फैंस इन द हाउस, आप बोलिए, मे बी इफ रोड्रिगो गेट्स अ चांस एंड दे डोंट गो फॉर गनाबरी, मे बी देयर इज अ रियल अपॉर्चुनिटी. यू नो, आप देखो रूडिगर, अगेन पेन्स मी टू से इट, लेकिन द फैक्ट इज दे हैव वेटेड फॉर रूडिगर. और रूडिगर, अगेन चेल्सी फैंस माइट डिसएग्री, मुझे लगता है रूडिगर always wanted to go to Real Madrid. I don't think I know a lot of us blame Marina. I think nahi. he has just managed the situation well. He has acted like a proper pro, and he has done very well on the pitch. No two ways about it. लेकिन I think he always wanted. वही है साला का. If in case Liverpool नहीं बढ़ाती है and Real Madrid are the kind of club who can actually pay when it comes to getting a free agent and then paying in the salary, so that is a possible. Or again, Real Madrid, bhai, you will win stuff there just like Liverpool as well at this point in time. So I don't think it's a downgrade or it's definitely an upgrade because they lost to them technically, right? But by the way, instead of going for overrated De Ligt, Chelsea should go for Kalulu. He has been better than De Ligt last season. I kind of disagree JSK. मतलब again मैं देखता हूँ काफी सरिया, मतलब आप अगर चैनल्स देखते हो तो आपको पता ही है AC Milan the way I support. मुझे लगता है यार अगर हमें जाना ही है ना AC Milan and we want to kind of Anshuman knows it, a lot of people in the chat knows it. Chelsea are the kind of club who don't kind of take a step back. अगर हमें buy back करना है, we have bought back many players who are in Chelsea. So why not go for Tomori himself, because he might be an improved player by the time 2 years हो. हाँ, improved price होगा definitely, but I think Tomori himself is much better than Kalulu, if I'm being honest. दोनों ही अच्छे हैं, nothing like that, but absolutely. Only Mbappe and Haaland has the guts to reject the Galacticos offer. Wow. I don't know about that. To be very honest,
Galacticos offer because Galacticos never made an offer.
Yeah, you can say that, right?
They met with Haaland, and I think they told him that Benzema is going to continue as a lead striker. And even Perez said in the interview, he has no qualms against Haaland because even he knew he is not going to start over Benzema.
और Mbappe सागा तो you cannot really say that it's just about the offer. I think PSG ने पागलपन की इतना प्रेशर कर दिया था ना कि यार लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर से कि फाइनली इज लाइक नहीं this is my country, this is my club, so let's just stick with it is what I think. मतलब again you might be wrong. लेकिन यार एक दो क्वेश्चन यूनाइटेड के बारे में वापस से ले लेते हैं. अंशुमान इज इन द हाउस. अंशुमान क्या लगता है भाई, एक तो फ्रेंकी डियोंग का पहले बता दो यार.
पहले क्वेश्चन देखने के साथ ही मैंने हाथ जोड़ दिया है. When
नहीं, but he has a point. System देखो आप.
When Werner signed for Chelsea, I have been watching Werner from his days at RB Leipzig. The moment he signed for Chelsea, I said, this guy, it's a 50 million headache for Chelsea. That day when he signed, I said he's a 50 million headache because Chelsea, he always played in a system at Leipzig where he was given the authority. Paulsen used to just, take up the space and Werner used to run behind him. He always did that. Even in the season when he scored almost 20 goals for Leipzig, it was Paulsen's, effect on the pitch. People very easily forget what Paulsen did for RB Leipzig. He used to take away the defenders, and that used to give someone like Werner the chance to go and finish. And obviously, when you are, there is a reason. Even after scoring so many goals, he is still not the main striker. And even though, imagine, he is not the main striker in a German team, which team doesn't even have a striker.
Yeah, and they're not doing well. Let's be honest, they're not doing as well as what they should. Anywhere close.
वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब जिस टीम में स्ट्राइकर नहीं है, उस टीम में recognized striker नहीं खेल पा रहा. सोचो. So the moment he made that move, and Erik Ten Hag, is not going to play with two strikers. United, the last time we used to play with two strikers when we basically used to have 4 strikers on the in the team. मतलब 4 बंदे लेके घूमते थे हम कि मतलब अगर कोई ढीला भी पड़ गया तो कोई बात नहीं, 2 बंदे और बैठे हैं पीछे. At times we used to have 3 strikers on the bench. तो वो वाली चीज अब जा चुकी है. No manager plays that much expensive football. यहाँ पे जहाँ पे you are going with 2 strikers or even 3 at times. At United we have seen Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez at times. मतलब तो वो fluency वाली बात थी, वो सारी चीजें अब जा चुकी. But yeah, Werner, I want to stay United away. Or obviously we have never shown any interest in Werner. We will never show any interest in Werner ever. So there is not even a question, not even a chance, to debate that Werner should be a United player. And as I said, Ten Hag knows what he is doing, and he will be, getting in on the training ground from tomorrow. So excited to see him.
Fair enough. मतलब good times. लेकिन ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड में जल्दी से फ्रेंकी डियोंग लग रहा है भाई सबसे लाइकली, और दैट इज लुक्स लाइक यूनाइटेड आर नॉट गोइंग टू गिव अप ऑन फ्रेंकी डियोंग एज वेल. पुट अ नंबर यार अंशुमन, क्या लगता है, व्हाट इज द नंबर दैट फ्रेंकी डियोंग शुड गो फॉर?
21.
नहीं नहीं, in terms of the cost बोल रहा हूँ.
Cost तो ये यूनाइटेड ने ऑफर कर दिया ना 80 million euros plus variables.
So that is the final offer you think मान जाएंगे? चलो
100%.
nice.
You know they are
और
asking 85 plus variables. We are paying 80 plus variables, so it's gonna happen.
yeah,
You know,
fair
5
enough, fair
million
enough.
के लिए Barcelona is willing to, you know, मतलब इनके अलावा no one is going to pay that much money. We are paying this much money because we don't have the UCL. That's the only reason we are paying. Basically, you can say we are paying 15-20 million extra because we don't have the UCL. उसकी भरपाई कर रहे हैं. Otherwise, imagine if they are going to ask someone like Bayern Munich or someone like City to pay 85 plus variables, they will be like, ये काम करो, हमारे पास बहुत पैसा है, but फिर भी नहीं देंगे तुम्हें, रखो अपने पास ही. ठीक है? तो obviously we are not in a situation where we can go out and try to dominate Barcelona. We can negotiate. We have tried. 5-7 मिलियन बचा लेंगे बस, और वो डिविडेंड में चले जाएगा फिर ग्लेजर्स को अगले साल.
I think मानव अंशुमन ने ऑलरेडी बता दिया है कि I don't think लेफ्ट बैक की नीड है unless लेफ्ट बैक comes like a world class left back. Again, David Raum is brilliant and again Chelsea and like आप ही बोल रहे मानव कि he was linked even to Chelsea. लेकिन आप देखो मतलब I think Nori from Wolves वो भी लिंक थे, David Raum भी लिंक थे. I think we had a few others as well जब हम बात करें in terms of someone who can come in from the German Bundesliga. लेकिन do they really upgrade the kind of people that we have? Even at United, I don't think so. कि यार वो I think you need a starter. You need to upgrade your starting level. That is the bottom line, नहीं Anshuman? I don't think
Yeah,
you
when
go
it
for.
comes to David Rome, you know, starting over the low and Shaw, the reason I think we were looking for Timber because he can play as a centre back as well as a right back.
Right back.
You
David
know,
Raum is more
so
of a left back.
and I think we will still might go for him in January when Louis van Gaal, you know, will want to be the coach of Netherlands, and you know, World Cup will be over as well. We might just go for him. You know, we might just go for him next summer. So at this point of time, you know, from tomorrow, Eric Ten Hag will be taking the charge. He will then get to realize that, you know, what he is getting from the players, what he is missing from the players. As I said, the way United performed last season, you know, it's never gonna happen again. You know, the reason being, at one point of time, not 9 of your 11 players go out of form, and that's what happened with United. You know, apart from De Gea and Ronaldo, everyone had a shocking season, and it barely happens to any club. You know, from second to all of a sudden you are not even hitting 60 mark. You know, at the points table, you are struggling badly even after making reinforcements. You know, so it was, I think, one of those seasons. And now that we have all the garbage away from the club, the likes of Pogba, Lingard, you know, Lee Grant, and all those clowns, now that they are away from the club, you know, you can get. And I'm you know, I might get hated for this, or I might get loved for this, but I absolutely love the way that we at that, you know, last moment didn't bow down to Pogba. Whether it was Eric Ten Hag saying let the clown go, you know, let the clown go, or whether it was the, you know, anonymous decision from our own 3-4 guys. You know, whoever made the final decision regarding Pogba that we have to let him loose, really, really thankful. You should have done it 2 or 3 years back. You know, but even though he has gone on for a free, basically the circus around the club has ended.
हाँ मैं तो सेम थाली के चट्टे बट्टे भाई पॉगबा लुकाकू तो काफी वर्स है खैर, लेकिन इन टर्म्स ऑफ व्हाट ही काइंड ऑफ टेक्स ऑफ द प्रेशर द सर्कस जो भी आप बोल रहे हो द गंदगी एक, हाँ नथिंग अगेंस्ट द प्लेयर इन टर्म्स ऑफ फुटबॉलिंग एबिलिटी, लेकिन ऑफ स्टेज जैसे बोलते हो काफी सारा बैगेज है which is gone and which is only great. Again, Frankie de Jong, well, we know that in terms of attitude he is brilliant, so I think that will be a big addition to United अगर आता है. लेकिन भाई अगर फ्रैंकी आता है देन बारसा का क्या होगा भाई, मतलब बर्नार्डो सिल्वा तो नहीं जाने वाला मेरे ख्याल से. आई नो खुद जाकर बताए पेप को, लेकिन यार ऑनेस्टली मतलब even if like Bernardo is not a Spanish guy, but even if I was Spanish at this point in time, who would want to leave City अगर आप you are one of the main players in City?
You know, there's also one thing, you know, you are the main player, but then एक होता है ना कि you have that dream, or you want to, you know, you want to just play. When Ronaldo left,
Barca, I can get it, like
exactly.
Barca, Real Madrid,
regardless
they will
of
be there.
how bad they are at this point of time, you know, नाम रहेगा. Same with Chelsea. Even, you know, अभी वो sign नहीं कर पा रहे. I won't be surprised if Chelsea goes out and 3 दिन में, you know, 3 deal close कर दे, because that's the Chelsea thing, you know. We have seen in the past. Now there is a change of guard. It might might take some time. Might take some time. But then Bernardo Silva, we have known him absolutely love Barca. He admires Barca, and even though no manager is going to come out in the public and say that this player wants to leave, apart from someone like Conte, and reduce the value of the player. So even if we are getting Frankie De Jong, we are paying that much money. I think Barcelona will go sensibly with that money. They will go for might go for Lewandowski, or they just might save the money this season. Get the wages off the books, and then next season they again try for someone like Bernardo Silva, because this season, I think for me is a free season for Xavi. I think it's a free season for Xavi. They are not going to win the La Liga. All right, they are not going to win the La Liga. At this point of time, they will be hoping, just like Milan did, get the wages off the books, get those players off the team who are not contributing much, terminate, sell, whatever you have to do, you know, with team, players like Umtiti, Langley, so many names out there, just get them out of the books, and then next season just go out. You will have
बस slowly but steadily rebuild तो हो रहा है यार, वो तो दिख रहा है हमें in terms of performance last 6
very
महीनों
good
में
rebuild,
especially.
they are doing, but then at the same point of time, just the rebuild that they are expecting, it's not going to happen very very shortly,
मतलब
or
टाइम लगेगा.
exactly.
मतलब अंशुमन को याद होगा ना, रिमेम्बर जब मतलब लेट 2000s में राइकार्ड वाज मूव्ड ऑन, राइट? तो काफी लोग बोलते हैं भाई राइकार्ड wasn't too good, but people who actually watched, right, he actually did lots at Barca. और उन्होंने actually वो बोलते हैं ना, he actually was kind of laying the seeds for Pep Guardiola in a way, so I think it's kind of fair that Xavi, the kind of players he's inherited, in a strange way that is only going to help him, और slowly but steadily probably will be better solution. लेकिन यहाँ पे मेरे मन में एक चीज आया वापस, जो भी भाई देख रहा है, आप लोग भी बोलिए, थोड़ा स्ट्रेंज है, लाइक जाओ फेलिक्स, द फैक्ट दैट ही इज वांटिंग टू मेक अ मूव और ही इज अवेलेबल, or City and Spurs are getting linked. He's already playing in La Liga. Barca need a striker, ideally a floating striker, क्योंकि again आप बोल सकते हो Ferran Torres भी खेल सकता है false number 9. Joao Felix. So if Joao Felix go to Barca, I'm kind of wondering why aren't Barca going for him? Maybe very high on wages. I don't know.
भैया जॉ फिलिक्स आई थिंक विल उसको फास्ट पेस गेम चाहिए, ठीक है. He thrived with Benfica because he was allowed to run on the players and everything. He might be a success for Barcelona.
नहीं,
But I think
technically भी काफी अच्छा भाई. He's more like a Havertz for me. He can do both the things. He's not got the
he can
opportunity
do the
in
thing, but I
Atletico.
think the move that he made, now that he's a player, he is not starting for Portugal. He is not starting week in week out for Atletico. So I think he has hit a roadblock at this point of time. And with players like these, if you are willing to spend 75-80 million to get a player like this, and if he's not getting that confidence back, that means he's not gonna give you any sort of a return. And that's a huge risk. I don't think Barcelona is willing to take that. The rebuild that they are trying to do, they have gone for good signings, Christensen, and they have got Garcia.
वहाँ तो good riddance हुआ है Chelsea के लिए. To be honest, the way he left, no, I think it is good riddance for Chelsea.
No, see,
But I hear you. एक Barca way
contract
of playing नहीं होता फिर.
Yeah. Contract negotiation का यही होता है भैया. When you are in the final year, you are not getting what you want. And
notice
at the
period.
age, he's just 24, 25. So Barca, even if he's not playing well for Barca, they can always look to replace him in the next window. Simple as that. उनको PK, Garcia लिया है. Garcia is still settling in. Christensen है. They are willing. They are trying to get Kunde as well. So they have the rebuild of their own. TV, naming rights वगैरह, stadium के rights sell करके they will have money in the next year or two. All of a sudden अभी नहीं. अब इस season almost they will have 250 million. But then उससे तुम्हें books balance वगैरह करना है. So for next season they will have a bit more money and more flexibility in terms of how much they can spend.
Fair enough. लेकिन यार अगेन काफी सिटी फैंस भी इस चैट में, तो सिटी में कंटिन्यू करेंगे फॉर द टाइमिंग एंड विल कम टू अदर क्लब्स एज वेल. लेकिन यहाँ क्विकली कमेंट ले लेते हैं. मुकेश बोल रहे हैं भैया डिलिक्ट, डेक्लन राइस, डेम्बेले, कुंडे टू चेल्सी. यार मुकेश, आप आपको चेल्सी का प्रॉब्लम, दो प्रॉब्लम है। एक तो भाई हाँ, जैसे अंशुमन ने बोला है, वी हैव गॉटन रिड ऑफ प्रॉपर डिफेंडर्स। तो डिफेंडर्स तो हमें चाहिए, आई अंडरस्टैंड टोटली। लेकिन भाई हमारा फॉरवर्ड लाइन भी हग रहा है ना, तो आप दोनों ही जगह बेसिकली वी हैव टू फिल। सो आई डोंट थिंक अ डेम्बेले, आप योर व्हाट यू डूइंग मुकेश इज, आप यू आर पुटिंग ऑल योर एग्स इन द डेम्बेले बास्केट, और अनफॉर्चुनेटली डेम्बुलान्स बास्केट, लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट। तो वहां पर बहुत ज्यादा रिस्की हो जाएगा। एंड द फैक्ट इज लुकाकू इज ऑलरेडी लीविंग, वी नो दैट। हाँ, गुड रिडेंस, आई एग्री। लेकिन जियेश भी जा रहा है, तो आपका भाई कौन होगा गोल स्कोरर? वी नीड सम गोल स्कोरर एज वेल, राइट? तो इसलिए मैं बोलूंगा कि यार मैं तो डेफिनेटली एक और जाऊंगा, और वो स्टर्लिंग आई एम ओके विद। आई विल क्विकली टेक अंशुमन ओपिनियन यहाँ पर, और चैट आप भी बोलिए भाई। स्टर्लिंग मैंने अलग से स्ट्रीम की थी, अंशुमन इज द हाउस, तो लेट मी टेक हिज ओपिनियन। आई नो काफी मिक्स्ड ओपिनियन होते हैं, बट द गाय इज एक्चुअली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर इंग्लैंड आज के दिन में। बट अगेन आप बोलोगे मगवायर भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट स्टर्लिंग, the fact that City से आ रहा है, तो he's coming with that winning mentality. Maybe you think that will be upgrading our, forward line, or you think that
100% upgrade. 100% upgrade. When you look at the wingers you have, when you look at the wingers you have, all right, he has not been, I won't say Sterling has been, a big game player. He has, in the past, we have seen him struggle in the very big games. But then, if you can, price is always going to be a factor, in my opinion. If you can get someone like Sterling for 40 million, I think it's a steal. At the same point of time, if you go for someone like Sterling at 70 million, then there is lot of pressure, on Sterling to perform, and he might just crumble. So I think at this point of time, if you are going for 40 million, even 45 million for a guy 27, he can easily give you 4 to 5 years, you know. So that would be great. But for 70, 75 million, what City is asking for, you know, you might end up looking like fools. If he comes up and he is not performing the way everyone is expecting him to perform. So that at this point of time, he knows he's surplus at City. Guardiola is not favoring him, and he wants to go to a team where he can perform, play week in week out, so that he plays for England when the World Cup arrives. So I can totally understand what Sterling is thinking at this point of
हाँ
time. But
मतलब यार मैं भी आई विद अंशुमन इधर, लाइक काफी चेल्सी फैंस बोल रहे हैं नहीं भाई आप वही है, बेगल्स नॉट चूजर्स वाला चीज बार बार मैं बोल रहा हूँ, लेकिन वही है, जाओ फेलिक्स इज एक्चुअली मेड फॉर बारसा टाइप ऑफ टीम, मे बी सिटी फुटबॉल पे एक हीरो। आप, मैं आपका कमेंट देख रहा हूँ काफी, और यस यू आर लाइक अगेन फीफा बोर्ड में पहुंच गए हो भाई। सिटी के पास ऑलरेडी इतना है। हाँ, सॉन गो ऑल आउट फॉर सॉन, मे बी फ्यूचर में मैं दिखता हूँ सॉन इवेंचुअली विल मूव। आई जेन्युइनली फील ही नॉट स्टिक टू टॉटनहम ऑल हिज लाइफ, ठीक है। सिटी माइट कम इन फॉर हिम, मे बी रियल मैड्रिड विल कम इन। अगर विनीशियस नहीं होता तो मे बी बाय नाउ ऑलरेडी वुड हैव बीन लिंक्ड टू रियल मैड्रिड, लेकिन वही है बिकॉज विनीशियस व्हाट ही इज, and that is why he's not being linked. So I can see Son moving, but not this season. Let's be honest, because Conte is doing a madness as well. अगर वो ला देता है जॉ फिलिक्स, फिर भी I don't see Son moving. To be very honest about it, Son and Kane have got a thing going इस season में. They'll give it time. आयुष in the house. आयुष, thanks for joining. यार बता दीजिए यार, अंशुमन डमफ्रीज का अभी भी लग रहा है चांस?
अरे भैया, कभी कुछ था ही नहीं, लगेगा क्या? मैं इटली में when it comes from someone like Di Marzio, I rate him. उसके अलावा सारे मतलब वही है। और when it comes to Brazil and when it comes to Portugal, तो मैं तो देखता ही नहीं खोल के। They basically link इवान निल्सन, मतलब इवान निल्सन को लिंक कर दिया हमारे साथ 70 मिलियन, ठीक है। और मतलब मैं तो रिपोर्ट पढ़ते के साथ ही मैं तो हंसता हूँ बस, हंसता हूँ, because they come up with any sort of a shit when it comes to United. So Dumfries को United के साथ लिंक कर दिया. We might even see Dumfries, getting a new contract with Inter in the next season or two. So
fair enough. And what about NDD? मतलब अगर by chance आपको अगर, I know Eriksen is your backup plan to Frankie. वो मतलब he's not
no,
your
वो
DM,
बैकअप नहीं है, वो हमारा फ्रंट प्लान है बेसिकली। ही
अच्छा दोनों?
हाँ, Eriksen we are looking at a backup to Mata. Now that Mata has left,
Okay. यार लेकिन
if
Eriksen did a
Bruno
very
is having a bad
decent
day,
6 months.
yeah, if Bruno is having a bad day, low block against, Eriksen can give you great numbers any day. And with his set piece skill, set pieces where we absolutely suck, so he can give you those numbers as well. So we are looking at Eriksen, Frankie De Jong. We are not keen on a CDM because pivot is how Erik Ten Hag likes to play with. So I won't be surprised if we are seeing Bruno Van de Beek and Frankie De Jong. Frankie just a bit deep, you know. Uh, Donny Van de Beek is a workhorse. He will keep on working. Same with Bruno. So I think those three guys, it might look a bit more attacking, but then these guys are hard workers. It's not like Pogba who will just stay at one place and he will jog around the pitch. Donny will run,
Hmm.
Bruno will run, Frankie will run. And God bless you if you're trying to get the ball from Frankie De Jong on the pitch. You know, not
Yeah,
many
yeah,
has
you
done
can
that.
say that. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल अनूप बोल रहे रियल गोट क्रिस्टियन स्टुआनी इज बैक इन ला लीगा भाई साहब बिल्कुल और
Yeah,
रियल
we
मैड्रिड
will
हैव द
get
बेस्ट
like
स्क्वाड मतलब रियल मैड्रिड हैव द बेस्ट स्क्वाड टू फाइट फॉर यूसीएल मोस्ट स्टेबल स्क्वाड इन ला लीगा दे आर गेटिंग नेक्स्ट ईयर भाई मतलब अगेन मतलब आप वही है द क्वेश्चन काइंड ऑफ स्टार्ट फ्रॉम एनडीडी और वी वेंट ऑन टू बेसिकली लॉट ऑफ अदर प्लेयर्स लेकिन आई थिंक आज के दिन में आई थिंक शाउट आउट है यहाँ पर आई गॉट अ डीएम आज हियर वी बेसिकली रियल मैड्रिड फैन इज ओके टू लेट गो कैसेमीरो तो आज के दिन में आई थिंक डीएम डीएम इज अगेन मुझे डीएम मिला तो मैसेज शेयर करो डीएम मींस डायरेक्ट मैसेज नॉट बेसिकली डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर लेकिन डिफेंसिव मिडफील्ड की कमी है इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिटी तो I don't think Casemiro will come because Real Madrid का problem क्या था? They didn't have good backups. Now they have great backups, and I don't think अभी यार let go करेंगे this season. It will be step back again. So वो नहीं होने वाला. लेकिन यार अंशुमान, who is that DM जो आने वाला है यार? You think Lisandro is the answer? Covering two positions, is it enough? Or you think a DM again? Chelsea also कोई चाहिए यार. I think Rice is too much यार. 100 million plus होगा.
I do feel that we would end up, अगर हम थोड़ा सा जल्दी करें फ्रेंकी डियोंग के साथ with the relations we have with Ajax, हमने अपना बंदा ही बिठा रखा है वहाँ पे CEO, Van der Sar. So we are just a phone call away, you know. We are just a phone call away from Lisandro Martinez. Eric Ten Hag ने बस फोन करना है. 45 million is nothing for us.
Yeah.
45 million is nothing for us. But then वही वाली चीज है कि I have said that before. It's the FDJ domino. Once that gets out of the way, ठीक है. As I said, I won't be surprised if we end up with both the players. हम 80 मिलियन यहाँ पे खर्चने के बाद भी उधर जाके 115 मिलियन दे के एंड वी कैन रेज 50 मिलियन फ्रॉम सेल्स. ठीक है, वी कैन, मतलब हमने 6-7 प्लेयर बेचने हैं बट वी कैन रीच दैट फिगर बिकॉज द लाइक्स ऑफ बेली, लाइक्स ऑफ Pereira, Chong, and there are a lot of other players who will give you around 50 to 60 million. So end of the day हमारा जो सेल है, जो मैं हमेशा अपने चैनल पे भी बोलता हूँ, alright, कि हमारा जो सेल है, अगर if we are touching 50-60 million, तो 2 players plus the money that we generate from the sales, we can have 3 players because Eriksen is a free transfer. आता है ठीक है, नहीं आता है ठीक है. So I have said that United can get 4 players, दो डेफिनेटली तीसरा डिपेंड करता है साइनिंग सेल्स पे. इफ वी कैन रेज 50 मिलियन, हमारा तीसरा भी आ जाएगा बिकॉज अभी हमारे पास 2 ही मेन प्लेयर्स का बजट है. वी हैव द बजट फॉर 2 मेन प्लेयर्स, दैट्स इट.
Got it. नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल. लेकिन अगेन मतलब वही है रूबन नेवेस, मतलब अगेन बारसा फैंस आर लाइक ओके, मतलब शुड वी गो फॉर अ बैकअप? नहीं, लेकिन वही है, डज ही काइंड ऑफ एलिवेट जो है आपके पास, दैट इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क. और यहाँ पर यस अगेन डू नॉट स्पैम. अगर आप स्पैम करोगे तो आई विल बी टेम्प्टेड नॉट टू टेक दैट क्वेश्चन. लेकिन ये फर्स्ट टाइम है, सो वेलकम टू द चैनल. होपफुली आप सब्सक्राइब हो एज वेल एज लाइक कर दियो स्ट्रीम को, डू शेयर इट. और भाई मैं बोलना भूल गया आज, लेकिन सब लोग को पता ही है भाई, अंशुमान हैज बीन कमिंग हियर. प्लीज डू चेक आउट द यूनाइटेड रोड. Definitely a very good channel और अंशुमान also knows this stuff. हम काफी डिस्कस करते हैं, not just football, we discuss a lot of cricket भी. आज तो अंशुमान is having a show of his own, दरअसल मैं ना क्रिकेट के लिए डिस्टर्ब नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन वी आर डेफिनेटली डूइंग अ क्रिकेट स्ट्रीम. अंशुमान भी करने वाला है आज रात को स्ट्रीम, तो प्लीज चेक इट आउट. लेकिन यार अंडरडॉग, I really doubt Kedar, to be very honest. I don't see an underdog winning the Premier League this time. The way City and Liverpool, that's the honest. Well, it pains me to say it, but that is a fact. Even a Chelsea fan, Manchester United fan will agree that the reality is that City and Liverpool are kind of getting there. The underdog, maybe Spurs आप बोल सकते हो will be easily getting to top 4. Maybe आप बोल सकते हो because of the signing, but again signings don't win you matches. You still have to perform on the pitch. And again Spurs and Arsenal are Arsenal. But speaking about Arsenal, टीलेमंस का क्वेश्चन आया था क्विकली अंशुमान टू फिनिश. टीलेमंस भाई, लेस्टर फैंस वो रेडी थे कि यार टीलेमंस जाने वाला है, लेकिन वेरी स्ट्रेंजली आर्सेनल का फोकस कहीं और ही है अभी. मतलब they are doing a madness with Rafinha possibly, of course Gabriel Jesus. तो Tielemans क्या लगता है भाई, मतलब he is the kind of signing which maybe both Chelsea and Manchester United need. नहीं,
टिलेमेंस को तो मतलब मैं बेंच
डबल
पर
पिवट में कम काम कर सकता है भाई, डबल पिवट में, हाँ,
ये
नॉट अ
देखो,
सिंगल पिवट ऑब्वियसली.
with a guy like Tielemans, you are basically doing a Pogba. ठीक है, he might get you some and attacking numbers में उसके कुछ ऐसा नहीं है out of the world where Tielemans thinks that he is that kind of a player. Defensively we have seen without NDD Tielemans के साथ मिडफील्ड खिला के देख लिया लेस्टर ने, हर गेम में 2-3 गोल खाते थे वो. That guy is a defensive liability and Arsenal has finally understood that. Suppose so called मतलब उसको खुद को लगता है he is one of the best in the midfield. All right, he talks as if so many clubs have lined up for his signature. एक Arsenal 3 days में imagine they are even not willing to pay 30 million for Tielemans. मतलब 30 million भी नहीं दे रही Arsenal. So
yeah. तो आई थिंक मतलब वो लाइकली कम लग रहा है, तो हो सकता है लेस्टर फैंस माइट बी हैप्पी यार, he might just end up staying because Leicester are not making any signings, remember. वो भी basically along with Chelsea and Manchester United same ही boat में है. But I don't know, मतलब any other exciting story maybe, हाँ, मार्क कुकुरेया का comments थे, वो तो काफी likely लग रहा है, he's going to almighty लग रहा है, going to City, so वो तो होने वाला है. And again उनको एक चाहिए था more defensive minded full back, उनको मिलने वाला है, because as much as हम बोलते हैं यार they had great potential in Zinchenko, let me get the name right. Zinchenko is not a left back really. He's more like
Arsenal is also looking at Zinchenko.
हाँ, आर्सेनल के लिए अच्छा रहेगा बिकॉज आर्सेनल नीड समवन हु कैन प्ले काइंड ऑफ बोथ रोल्स, और वो काइंड ऑफ फुटबॉल दे आर एमिंग फॉर. दैट इज समथिंग दैट दे वुड वांट बिकॉज दे उतना क्रिएटिविटी नहीं है आर्सेनल इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिफेंसिव मिडफील्ड वेयर ही कैन प्ले एज वेल, बाय द वे, एब्सोल्युटली. लेकिन हाँ, और कोई अंशुमन, कोई ट्रांसफर रूमर्स है जो हमने मिस कर दिया हो, या समथिंग दैट यू वुड लाइक टू. नेथन आकी क्या लग रहा है भाई, चेल्सी शुड वी बाय हिम बैक?
And at this, I think Chelsea has done a blunder. Transfer market में generally वो करते नहीं है. That
इतने चेंजेस है ना भाई, तो प्लानिंग हो ही नहीं
at the
पाई.
same point of time, you are basically without centre back.
अरे बॉटमैन न्यूकासल ने लिया विद इन 40 मिलियन. ही इज नॉट टू बैड, इमेजिन. तो
He
मतलब
is
वही
good.
होमवर्क. हाँ,
You don't just go out and win the Liga 1, with against Paris Saint-Germain if you are bad. He has proved his mettle, but that's what happens when you are in the market and people know that you are a bit desperate. Like whichever centre back Chelsea is going for at this point of time, वो कुंडे हो या वो डेलेट हो, कोई भी हो, कोई भी हो, the moment they will listen, अच्छा Chelsea है, okay, 80 million.
वही सेम एग्जैक्टली, दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस.
That's what happening to United for the last 5-6 years. For the 5-6 years, and that's what gonna happen to Chelsea in this window, because now you don't have Rudiger, you don't have Christensen, Azpilicueta might even leave. Alonso is on a move, so basically your
अब
backline is
देखते हैं एस्पिलिक्वेटा के लिए कितना मांगते हैं. मतलब मैंने कमेंट देखा था, आई रियली डाउट कि वी हैव कोटेड सो मच, बिकॉज एक साल का इतना आप कोट नहीं कर सकते फॉर अ गाय हु इज काइंड ऑफ एंडिंग हिज करियर इन 2-3 इयर्स मे बी. वेल, बिग अप तो है. और यार जो भी आए हैं भाई, सब लोग प्लीज चेक आउट द यूनाइटेड रोड, लिंक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो, एंड ऑफ कोर्स हमारे चैनल्स भी, बिकॉज यस, स्पेशली फॉर क्रिकेट वॉचर्स, बीट रेन और नो रेन, हम करते हैं भाई, हमारा लाइव है. हम अंशुमन हैज बीन पार्ट ऑफ वेरी टू मेनी वॉच अलोंग, हम लोग साथ में किया है. We discuss a lot of things apart from the watch along beats. Just not a watch along, it's an interaction. So the more people we have, और भी ज्यादा मजा आने वाला है. We are live, I think 10:30 बजे लाइव है on Almighty Sport Plus. अंशुमन, आप कितने बजे लाइव हो आज?
मैं 10 बजे आज लाइव हूँ भैया.
10 बजे लाइव हो, तो पहले आप अंशुमन के चैनल में जाओ 10 बजे, वहां पे मजा. यू हैव आई थिंक द सिंग एंड सेबेस्टियन शो व्हिच इज द न्यू शो, डू चेक इट आउट. एंड वी हैव ऑब्वियसली अराउंड 10:35 वी विल बी डूइंग द क्रिकेट. तो यार सब लोग आ जाना. और यस, काफी स्टोरीज है भाई, मतलब वी ट्राई टू कवर एज मच एज पॉसिबल, लेकिन ऑलवेज गुड टू हैव अंशुमन. अंशुमन, फाइनल वर्ड्स. आई नो काफी सारे स्टोरीज हमने मिस भी किया आज के स्ट्रीम में. Like for instance, talk about midfielders, Rabiot is available and stuff like that, but again we know that those are not like, मतलब कुछ उखाड़ नहीं लेंगे. Calvin Phillips to City तो उखाड़ेगा मेरे ख्याल से. But final words या generally transfer window के बारे में and where we are standing.
See, United and Chelsea at this point of time in the same boat. top two is going to be Liverpool, City and Liverpool. At this point of time, I don't think Chelsea or United are going to challenge them next season. If Conte pulls a rabbit out of the hat, you know, he might end up third. Because they are spending, they have the money, and they are making the signings, Conte type signings. Players who will do anything for Conte. Anything for Conte. So at this point of time, I feel that next season again, the top six that we had this time, and as I said, United is not going to have a season like that. Season like last season again. Where all of a sudden 7 or 8 players go out of the form.
और खराब तो नहीं होगा, मतलब उससे better ही होगा.
Exactly.
It might
Like,
take time,
we have
लेकिन
seen the
वही है.
worst. We have seen the worst. We have taken out the virus from the team. Mourinho.
Same. हम लोग का भी same है.
Exactly. Mourinho said that long time back, and everyone at that point of time went after Mourinho, and whatever he said at this point of time, that has come right. So yeah, at this point of time, I think United and Chelsea are in the same boat. But then I think Chelsea's situation with the change of owners, United has been exploited in the transfer market for the last 5-6 years.
So you know what to expect. At least you know what to expect. Chelsea का तो ये totally no, we don't know.
Exactly. Now that Chelsea is with a totally different guy at this point of time. If you are going for someone like Kunde, as I said, if you are going for someone like Dillitai, they are happy that they are not going against someone like Marina.
Yeah.
Who would have just said, all right, you want 80, we are going to give you 60, deal or no deal. That's how she ruled with her iron fist. Everyone knows that. And I just think that Chelsea has missed, a trick by letting her go.
Yeah. इतनी जल्दी क्या थी? That's the thing. I agree 100% with you, bhai. 100%.
I think where you have to basically rebuild your entire defense in one window, and you let your chief transfer negotiator go. I think this might come back and haunt Chelsea. And at this point of time, as I have said, Chelsea can go out, they can spend 150 million, they can get 3 players. The 3 defenders or 2 defenders or a striker, something like that. But then whether Tuchel is happy with those guys or not, how Boehly is basically reacting. So by September 1st, Chelsea could be in a great position, getting the players, trying to rebuild. Or I just think that this might be one of those seasons, just like what happened with Jose Mourinho. You won the title and next season you finished 10th. 10th or 8th, something like that. So if you are not buckling up, even as Matt was saying, that for you in 10 days, in 11 days, you might be panicking. Because others around you are making the signings. As a United fan, I am not panicking at this point of time because I have been through it for a long time. Because exactly that's what happens to us. That's what happens to us in every transfer window. We either sign at the very end or we overpay. This time the manager has given clear instructions. Just give me the guys I want. I don't want any backup, and that's why the Frankie De Jong deal, even after knowing that Frankie De Jong is going to leave, it has taken time. It might just take 3 or 4 more days, even a week more. But Chelsea is going through a paradigm shift, and now at this point of time, so I just feel that they might, if they're not making the signings, they might just end up
lose the top 4. Hopefully यार वही है, मतलब bold signing Boehly भाई, इसलिए वो he's meeting people. Hopefully something comes in the next week or so, because pre-season भी शुरू होने वाला है और we are going to cover a lot. लेकिन talking about cover again, people भूलना मत, आज रात को 10:30 बजे on Almighty Sports Plus. And जो लोग को नहीं पता, यहाँ पर भी membership शुरू हो गई है, so please consider that. Definitely helps. It will go back to the channels, and we are going to upgrade much more content coming on both the channels. And yes, Who Am I popular Who Am I will be back as well इस हफ्ते में. अंशुमन को भी लाना है. I know that is something pending. लेकिन अंशुमन, thanks, and people who check out the United Road. Till next time, take care. और मैं काफी सारे कमेंट लास्ट में मिस किया क्योंकि यार मुझे एक और स्ट्रीम में भागना है अभी. अंशुमन का खुद का स्ट्रीम है भी in some time, लेकिन we'll certainly take it. Don't worry about it. So we'll take a lot of comments the next time. Hopefully, you can always prioritize your chat. There's a way to prioritize. But जो भी है, thanks a lot. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Thanks a lot for coming up. लेकिन on that note, let's end. and we'll come back with more stories. Don't worry. And thanks, big shout out to everyone who's here, and we'll see you soon tonight. Bye.